breaks my heart. I was once stuck in Frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
You are now here. Yay!
Yay! So what is happening? So you got yourself a tree?
I got myself a tree early.
A treat or a tree?
A Christmas tree.
You got a Christmas tree.
Oh, tree.
Too soon. It's too soon,
Wow.
Vivian.
I know. I needed it.
So what, like, where'd you go? What'd you do?
I went to the Home Depot and I got a big tree because next week is UPW and then it's my birthday and I wanted to have lights on my tree and have it all decorated by then.
Happy birthday, Vivian. Happy UPW. Happy Thankful Thursday on Real Raw. You are so heart-centered and amazing. By the way, Vivian, what is a Real Raw? Congratulations again on your Christmas tree. What's the Real Raw? What's happening?
The Real Raw is a place where we get to see how influence is a superpower. We have a chance to take hold of the microphone, form ecosystems, make more money with less time, and meet each other heart-centeredly. And all because Sean has curated the formula, which he's been working on for 23 years, and he's the chief visionary officer at Unblinded. And the Real Raw offers us a chance to learn through micro distinctions how we can all go from hello to yes in any role that we play in life, and we can all lead leaders and become a more heart-centered human and make the world a more amazing place. That's what the Real Raw is all about.
Excellent job, Vivian. We've got some amazing people here today. By the way, if you're like, so what is this, like kind of a podcast or a phone call? No, we're like in the most dynamic experiential marketing hack of 2020 and probably since like Google AdWords. Don't believe it? We'll talk about it later. You'll see. So here's where we are. Incredible things happening. Massive acceleration. Tomorrow, we will hit episode number 300 of The Real Raw since COVID began, Vivian. Incredible people like yourself. You're on a regular basis every day. 300 episodes in, approaching 2,000 people that have appeared. Let's call 1,600. 1,600 people have appeared. And here's where we are. So Vivian, what is happening with these amazing people? Let's get to some introductions.
Oh my God, we have Sarah Nkuzi Kumalo. She was born in Zambia, but is originally from Rwandan descent. A business exec with over 15 years experience who's been leading blue chip companies and driving innovation to change the financial and wellness industry globally. She's also a speaker and philanthropist who's shared her story on TEDx and is driven by her principles of Ubuntu, qualities that include the essential human virtues, compassion, and humanity. Her mission is to lift her community through education and be the example of what's possible, to go higher and go further for as long as God allows. And she has. She is the first Black African woman to reach the South Pole and to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Sean,
Wow.
what? She's also an award-winning mountaineer who's raised over 1.5 mil toward literacy and education in Africa. And of her many accolades, she just received Woman of Stature Award in the sports category and Sportswoman of the Year. Welcome,
God, Sarah, you're a straight up like adventuring gangster. Like floating around the planet, like I scuba dive with sharks. I'm blind. I surf giant waves. I run with the bulls. I jumped out of airplanes twice in the last month, and I feel like I've done nothing now in this phase of adventuring. You're a lunatic. So talk to us. Summiting Everest, people die all the time. People don't die shark diving. They already die in giant waves. Like this is all like exaggerated. People don't really die skydiving very often. People die climbing Mount Everest all the time. Talk to us. Why Mount Everest?
I don't think so. People die on our roads every day while driving. You know, death is the fate of us all. So if you're afraid, then you won't do anything and you'll die anyway.
All right,
so
Sarah, that's the BS I tell people all the time. That's actually true. I agree with you. I have problems. They're like, you're blind. You taught a blind guy to surf. You're jumping out of airplanes, scuba diving with sharks, all this paddling out in like hurricane conditions. Like, yes, but that's a very different math formula than climbing Mount Everest, Vivian. I'm just telling you about Sarah. Very different math. People do die lots climbing Mount Everest, a lot more than they die in cars. Cars, by the way, kill more people, way more people proportionately than sharks. then airplanes, then skydiving. But Mount Everest, way different story. That's amazing. I'm inspired. You're incredible, Sarah.
Yes.
Like,
Sarah is a true warrior goddess.
unreal, Michelle. Like, dude, yes. Sarah, what did it feel like when you summited Everest?
Oh, wow. The first thing I thought about was my mother, who used to tell my sisters and I that the sky is the limit, and how wrong she was, because suddenly I was above the clouds. And, you know, and I use that to help other people to say, you know, if I can do it, the sky is not the limit. We need to aim higher. We need to aim for the unimaginable, because we are capable of doing the unimaginable as extraordinary beings. And being ordinary is really a choice that we make every day.
Okay, so this is like my 7th speaking engagement today, and I am mind blown. And I don't get mind blown easily. Like, I am mind blown. And know this, like I don't often stay in a room with people who've done crazier things than I have, and like, you've done 10 times crazier things. So thank you for the inspiration coming from where you came from, everything you've accomplished. Holy cow, like crazy.
How long did it take to get up to Mount Everest?
Oh, wow. It generally takes about eight weeks, but we did it in 6 weeks. And I stayed at Everest Base Camp for an additional week because we lost a team member on the mountain. But just generally does that because you have to acclimatize. You climb high, you sleep low, wait for the right weather window, and you go for the summit.
Yeah. So let's like all capture that. I don't think that Sarah is referring to lost as in like lost and then found. I think, Sarah, you're referring to like lost as in like didn't make it back. Is that true?
Correct. Yeah. He fell off the mountain at Camp 4, unfortunately.
Wow.
How devastating that must have been.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
It was quite
Incredible,
bad.
Sarah. So thank you for all the share. Thank you for everything that you stand for in the world. And how about a fun fact? Like, we know you did all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, do you like, you know, keep your like car messy? Like, give us something fun.
I actually wasn't sure what to expect in this session. So I said 2 weeks ago, I just broke the Guinness World Record in terms of spinning for about 8 hours continuously and raising funds for education. So yeah,
Just keep dropping it, Sean.
You're straight up
Wow.
like you're
Guinness World Book of Records. Say that again one more time. You got
one more time. The Guinness.
In.
Yeah, I broke the Guinness World Record for spinning for continuously for 8 hours and raising funds for literacy. So
So it's a canary bite.
I'm just gonna go crawl in like a cave and hide in there.
Vivian, I feel lazy and I work 16 hours a day right now. I feel lazy. So Sarah, final. How about a fun fact though of like your humanity? You know, like my fun fact is like here's what my hotel room looks like here at the Fairmount. Like my clothes are on the floor. It's like so this is that, yeah. Like, so where's your like messed up humanity and like all the stuff that you're doing?
So I don't know if you can see this. I'm working through all this. So I'm sitting here on my table, and if I need papers, I just go here. I don't. If I'm reading a book, all my books are down here. So I'm a bit chaotic like that. I'm a mother of 2 boys, and yeah. It's chaos, but everything is close by. I talked about spinning, my bike is there. So sometimes when I'm working and the meeting is a bit boring, I switch off my camera and I'm spinning.
Yes. So can I give you a new fun fact?
Yeah.
Your new fun fact is you were just like dropping the mic all over the place with all these amazing people. And the blind guy asks you like, what's your fun fact? And you say, hey, can you see this? And that's your new fun fact. I am totally.
Oh my God.
Oh, you brought her up, Sean. You
Yeah.
set her up. You showed her your stuff, and she was
I
like,
know.
"I'll be conciliatory."
We're having fun.
She was
There's
matching and marrying.
There's 4 energies of integrous influence, right? 4. Number 1 is fun energy. Fun energy draws. It opens listening. Aspirational energy like makes people curious and want to come forward. Goddess energy makes people want to be present to you and loving and connected. And Zeus energy makes people want to step into, partner with you, be locked at the hip, because they know there's always something more for them there. Your certainty, your drive, your leadership, right? So we have fun. So Sarah, it is an honor. And thank you, like for real, like craziness. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Vivian.
I think the two of you are statistically probably have high IQs, because I think people who are like messy supposedly are supposed to be really smart. Isn't that true, Sean?
I hope so, because I'm really messy. So I hope that's what it says.
Me too.
Yes. So how about we go to Michelle E as the role player? Because none of our guests have to follow that insanity, but we'll make that unenviable task drop to Michelle Etchebarren, because she is a straight up rock star as well. So let's hit it with Michelle E.
Yes, we have the founder and CEO of Attorneys in Motion, aka the Uber of lawyers and their court appearances. Not only did she create this company from limited resources, she did so as a single mom of 4. Plus, she grew the business to be a nationwide company with over 7,500 lawyers. She now offers freelance lawyer work so lawyers can run leaner and more productive law firms. And she sits on the board of a political action committee with the aim to diversify the bench. So welcome, Michelle Etchebarren.
Michelle, what's up?
Thank you. And
Michelle, thank you for flying from California to Arizona for like a day to like hang out with the amazing Unblinded team here at the Tony Platt event, and just like be having lunches and dinners and breakfast. And it was such an honor and privilege, Michelle. Your story is inspirational, coming from your background, your upbringing, all the things that occurred, to being this insanely successful entrepreneur. Just try to think of making agreements with like 7,500 lawyers. This woman has made agreements, her company, with 7,500 lawyers. Is that true, Michelle?
This is true. This is very true.
Why would you put yourself through something so painful, Michelle?
I like to torture myself. It must be the case. I'm like masochist or something. I just can't stop the pain. I love it.
I tell people though, this woman loves attorneys, wants the free friction, cause less pain. Amazing human being. What's a fun fact, Michelle?
Well, I want to speak into Sarah's, where she said the sky was the limit. It's funny that you say that, because I don't even, like, at least 10 years have been saying, like, for me, the sky is not the limit, because I think it ends at like 650 miles or something, and then outer space begins. So I'm like, why do you want to make the sky the limit? It eventually ends. I'm with you. I'm with you on this.
So what I'm hearing, I hear you, and you live that way, Michelle. So what I am hearing though, Vivian and Sarah, is that Michelle Etchebarren has said she's going to summit Everest with Sarah next time. So is that what
I don't know about that. I don't do well in the cold.
Don't be buying it back now. There's no buying it back now. No, Michelle. Love you. Thank you. Vivian, we got another participant today to roll with Sarah.
Oh, yes, we do. We have Tom Matson in the house.
Tom is in the house.
He is the chief movement maker, or the world's largest deal-making summit maker. Tom helps entrepreneurs create high-ticket programs that guarantee results and help build 7 to 8 figure global movements. He credits his knowledge from doing. In fact, he's made and lost millions multiple times and started over 87 businesses. And he teaches what works to help small businesses monetize their programs, which inspired him to create Entrepreneur Empowerment Institute and Embark $1 Million Authority. So welcome, Tom Matson.
Tom, welcome, brother.
Hey, Sean, good to see you, or good to be seen by everyone except you. Good to be heard by you. I've got to be politically correct, make sure. And I realize why Sarah climbed Everest. She has 2 boys. Now, that's a lot of work to escape your kids. That's a lot of work to escape your kids. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed by your fun energy, your presence, your voice, and the power of your microphone, brother. That's like TV and radio.
Oh, I got the face for radio, Sean. I got the face for radio. That's what my mom told me growing up.
Amazing. And Tom, with all your success, all the things you've created, like what keeps driving you? Like what's present?
Oh, I love helping people tap their wisdom and knowledge and share it with the world. I love it. It absolutely feeds my soul and spirit. I actually think the meaning of life is to find our calling and then impact as many people as possible with that calling. And not everyone has a message they want to take to thousands or millions or tens of millions, but those that do are really making a difference in the world. And I love it. It feeds my spirit every day.
I feel you, and kindred spiritness. Thank you, brother. And how about a fun fact, Tom?
Fun fact. Well, I submitted a fun fact that I proposed to my wife by having a dolphin swim the ring to her in the wild. But I realize now it's my first wife, not my current wife. So do I get 2 points? Do I still get 2 points for telling that story, Vivian? I'm not sure. I always get 2 points.
This is great. This is awesome.
I think he owns a
there was
bonus point.
After Sarah's total insanity, there's like only one way to follow that, and you just did it. Like you were straight up rock star genius already. I love this man. So Tom, yeah, I love to be present to and experience people's genius, and it is obvious. So tell me, did you really in the wild? Did you just say
in the wild in the Bahamas? The Bahamas is the only organized place you can swim with dolphins in the wild, and it turns out they're like puppy dogs. They follow the boat. They go out with you like puppy dogs, and then you can play and swim and do all the crazy things. And we had pre-planned this. I actually almost married a gay man from San Francisco in the process. So I don't know if we got 45 seconds to tell that story, but
I know. I think I know where it's going, but please share.
I love this story.
well, it was a chilly morning, and there were only 2 couples on this boat, myself and my fiance, and this 2 gay guys, one from San Francisco, one from Charlotte. And we had gone out and did the swim and the powerful dolphins. And if you've ever swum with dolphins, you know how amazing they are. And we come back, and it was still in the wild, but near their pens. And the deal was this big rubber ring, my wedding ring was attached to it. And my fiance didn't know this, but she was in the water, and it was her turn. And so she was splashing her hands, which, outside, side by side in the water. And that would signal the dolphin to swim this big ring to her. And she was kind of like paddling her hands sort of half-heartedly. And the dolphin wouldn't swim. And so I'm yelling, and the guy on shore who's in on it, the only 2 of us, are yelling, "Golly, your hands!" And she's like, "Whatever, guys. We're having fun." And the guy from San Francisco goes like this. And he puts his hands properly, and the dolphin swims the ring to him.
Wow.
And so I'm like, well, is that a sign from God? Am I supposed to switch teams? Or should I just get the ring over? And I chose to get the ring over, and we lived happily for 8 of the first 10 years of our marriage. So it might have been a good choice.
Well, what was the moral of the story?
the story is
Splash your hands if you want the dolphin, baby.
You're awesome, brother. Thank you for being here today.
Happy to be here.
So Vivian, we got some judges for Sarah and Tom, and this is going to be some amazingness.
Dude. We have Christopher Grayton in the house. Mm-hmm.
Hello,
He's
hello,
Director
hello.
of Sales and Marketing. Welcome. At Yellow Transportation, he's responsible for increasing customer base and manages various contracts and places like Salvation Army and some major players while leveraging social media to help him. So welcome, Christopher.
Wow. Well, thank you. Welcome. I appreciate it. Hi, guys. I haven't climbed any mountains yet, but I'll get there.
All right. Well, Christopher, you're about to climb some mountains today, maybe. So, Christopher, thank you for being here. And where are you coming from today?
I'm actually coming from Washington, D.C., where I was born and bred. Yep.
Washington,
Yep.
D.C.
Just like, District of Columbia, where all the magic happens.
Yeah. How are things going? I know. Listen, I'm present to reality. How are things going? Just what's the energy around DC like right now?
Oh, it's just pleasant. Everyone's so happy to be here. We just had a wonderful election, nice transition. No, it's just chaos. No, what? I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an idea what's coming on Saturday. They're having a million-man MAGA march, so that's coming. So yay, that should be exciting. So just to let you know, it's not over yet. So we're telling people to batten down their hatches and see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything will be fine. But that's the environment. But hey, everybody's good. Everybody's good. There's no worries. You walk in the streets, everything's just fine. It seems like a normal day.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And all jokes aside, my heart aches for division. My heart aches for our lack of awareness of how influenced we are by divisive dynamics that exist on left and right, through television, through social media, through reinforcing as we receive ads on platforms we don't own, like we don't own our Facebook page, we don't own our Instagram page. I will hopefully be having the privilege of speaking in front of the United States Supreme Court in the middle of 2021. We've just filed for certification. We'll be doing our press release shortly on the insane power of the social media companies to alter. And by the way, this is a bipartisan issue. This is the one thing that Joe Biden and Donald Trump agreed on. And that's also in our briefs. The both of them agree on that. So we have that. And second, I'm having some offers and opportunities to make regular appearances on national news. I was on the news right before the election, and now they're wanting non-political topics. So Unblinded will be standing for crushing fear and distortion. And let me tell you something, 4 years from now, you could put this in the books, Vivian. The election will not look like that, and Unblinded will have a role in making sure it doesn't. So we're committed to it. Yeah.
If that's what you're doing, I'm behind that 100% because you need to have positive energy. There needs to be positive everything, and no more negative. Just let's keep going forward. You know, I like what I'm hearing. People actually feel good right now. To be honest, it's that what happens on Saturday is going to happen. We don't control that. We're going to stay out of it. Let them do what they do, but we're going to keep positive and keep moving forward. So we're all about that. It's about positive energy. So I'm happy to be here with this group. I like everything that I've been hearing. I like the people that have been attending this that I've been introduced to today, and I have to say I'm grateful to be here. So thanks for doing that, Sean. You keep up good work.
No, thank you, Christopher. And that's the mission and the job here, right? There's a lot easier ways for me to build something and hide. I own a 125-person law firm. I have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, one of the 2 attorneys in the country. First person to go to college, and I had the privilege of going to Ivy League school. Captain of the baseball team, going blind. I realized influence is a superpower. They do not teach you that in law school in any way, shape, or form, contrary to popular belief. And I realized everything happens after yes, and the ability to cause positive leadership, but there's a science to it. And that's what we're unpacking here. And this is just like the tip of the iceberg of what Unblinded is. And we have massive programs, tons of people pouring in every day to what we're doing. So thank you, because this is sort of like the gateway entry point of amazing and cool people. And then loads of things happen from there. So thank you very much.
I love it.
Yeah, Chris.
You're welcome. Thank you. I love it. I love it.
So we have from Nairobi, Kenya, Shiru Mwaniki. She's excited to be here. I'm excited to have you. Loving the energy.
I have all the African names I have butchered when they've happened this week. So is Shiru, what's the appropriate, how should we refer to you in your first name? Forgive me for my brutal ignorance. How would we refer to you?
Thank you, first of all, for allowing me to be on your platform. I'm really excited about this. I was not prepared, so I said, you know what, they've invited, let me go on. Let's see what happens. So I'm not really particular about how you pronounce my name because it's a local name. It's authentic, it's indigenous, it's African. So I don't really expect that you know how to pronounce it properly. But essentially, even from my tribe where I come from, different dialects pronounce it differently. So
oh my goodness, like Vivi, how am I going to deal with this?
We're going to be all right. Exactly, I have a feeling any which way we do it, we're going to be all right, Sean. Here we go.
Yes, keep going. It can be.
So which dialect?
It can be.
Which dialect are you going to get? Which dialect?
Kikuyu.
Vivian, you try that one.
Yeah, no. You try it, Sean.
Kikuyu.
Write it down. Kikuyu.
Keep trying to abuse the blind guy. They keep trying to abuse the blind guy.
Yeah. She's holding a sign, Sean. Read the sign. She's holding up a sign.
Oh,
so even from my own tribe, the dialects pronounce it differently. So it can be Shiro, it can be Siru, it can be Chiru, it can be Shiro.
Which way do you like to pronounce it the most? I want to honor you.
For me, Shiro is fine. Shiro. Like she, a woman, she.
Like a she hero. Shiro.
Then like row your boat.
Shiro.
Shiro. Okay.
Row.
Shiro.
Yeah.
Right. Shiro. Okay. So Vivian, let's hear about Shiro.
Well, okay, so
no. Vivian's gonna drop in on you. Watch, like you want Vivian going like into Nairobi, into like Afghanistan, into like New York City or Washington, D.C., which might be crazier than Afghanistan right now. So Vivian, let's drop in.
You sound like I'm Richard Engel. I'm not that adventurous, John. I like to keep myself safe.
I think it's safer to be keeping out with great white sharks in South Africa right now and in the jungle with lions than it is to be in D.C. or New York. A lot of craziness happens. It'll be all good.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You can walk the street. You're good. Don't worry.
Yeah.
She went from working in corporate governance, investment banking to law firms and medical insurance, but she is now owner of Advotique Limited, where she develops revenue management systems, consults with businesses so they're more effective and efficient, bringing innovative solutions to help small businesses grow and generate revenue. And she's also a diplomacy officer of the Honorary Consulate of Republic of Lithuania in Kenya. Hope I get that right. Welcome, Shiro.
Shiro.
Thank you so much.
Besides the fact that your name is pronounced like 9 different ways by your neighbors, what is a fun fact about you?
Oh, I love cats. I love cats. I love cats. I love cats.
Like you mean like little tiny like house cats? You mean like lions and Simba?
All cats.
Amazing. So would you rather like go hang out with like Simba lioness or like little catness?
Oh no, of course the little kitten. Because I mean, I have an unfortunate incident that I adopted a small kitten. I think I took it too soon from its mother, and I think it needed a lot of dependency. So she died unfortunately, and it was a very sad incident for me. But I love cats. I've lived with cats all my life. I had one time when I was staying at my mother's house, I had 5 cats. So I love cats. I watch cats. I'm obsessed with cats. So, but anyway,
how many cats do you have right now? How many cats?
No, right now I don't have any because I'm still trying to get over the one that I just lost a few months ago. It was actually 2 months ago. So it's really sad. But yeah, so I love cats. I love to travel. I've been to the United States like 3 times. I've visited 20 states in the US. I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Mexico. So travel is my thing. So COVID needs to F off, you know?
Yes, it's Shiro. F off.
That's the next t-shirt right there.
I didn't get the spelling of that. What's the spelling of that, Shiro?
COVID F off. I like that.
You are
COVID F off.
If I'm going to come, Shiro, if I'm coming to Africa, because I want to get to Africa and I want to experience the wild, right? And I want to experience animals, a safari, right? Where would you recommend I have some optics on like different places to go, but where would you recommend would be the best way? Like first time, like you want to see African experience and you can only go to one place, where would you say?
In Kenya, I would say the best place you'd want to go is Lamu. I loved it there. It's a very small town. There's a town that there are no cars in the town. Wow. It's that small because the streets a car cannot fit. People walk or use a donkey or travel by foot. So it's a really, really peaceful town. It's a coastal town also. So you will get to eat a lot of fish if you want to go there. But the best place, I think, in Africa that I've visited that I would love to go over and over again is the Serengeti in Tanzania. Yeah, it's awesome. I went for a balloon safari there. It's just amazing.
I had a dear friend that actually had one guide and one security person by himself and went all through like 9 different places in Africa. He went for like 2 months on safari. It was incredible. And Vivian, because I don't like bathroom humor, I am not going to tell you what happened when they came aboard and saw a troop of monkeys. The monkeys were not very nice, and they were not adhering to no bathroom humor.
Oh my God.
It was not fun. So Shiro, thank you for being here. Vivian, we got one more judge.
Yes, we do. We have Sean, I believe the first dame on The Real Raw. AKA she was knighted.
Oh, we have 2 people knighted in the same week. What is the thing with the knighting this week? It's like Robin Hood is present, like Sir, like Little John, like Sheriff of Nottingham, King Richard, the Lion-Hearted, King John. Like, what's happening? Who do we have?
We have Dame Lillian Walker from Newport Beach. And she was awarded a Luminary Award like fellow Sir Richard Branson and Dr. Irving and Panache Desai. And today she's the host of Love and Money Secrets TV with extensive entrepreneur background. She's a former mortgage banker. She founded First Bank Mortgage Bank and ran it for 20 years. First Pacific Mortgage Bank, and ran it for 20 years. She was a radio producer and host of Bottom Line Show, which inspired a best-selling book called Tapping into Infinite Intelligence, Secrets to Success. And here she features captains in industry of entertainment, music, medicine, media, sports, and spirituality. She was director of mass media and marketing production for the Home and Garden Show, which inspired another book, 7 Secrets to Selling Your Home in 90 Days or Less. But her passion today is to facilitate, educate, encourage, and empower people to release pain. And she is now a neurosomatic clinical hypnotist and practitioner. Kind of like a fun fact. Welcome, Dave.
Lorelei Mariano rocking the world with these guests. So, it's Lillian?
Yes, it is Lillian.
Oh my goodness. What is happening, Lillian? Like, how does one become, and what is this is optics I don't have. Like, I understand. Like, so what is it? So you're knighted? Is that the appropriate terminology?
Yeah, I was knighted in the Order of St. John, and just like Sir Richard Branson was knighted. And the funny thing is, there's a whole story behind that, because I never expected, it was not something that was on my radar. In fact, I just did an interview a few weeks ago with Exis Justin, and I talked about that whole story on there, so I'm not going to repeat it here again. But the bottom line is, to me, that's not the most impressive part, that I was actually knighted. What to me was more astonishing was who I was knighted with, because when they told me, Dr. Sandra told me that I'd been nominated, I just thought, okay, it's never going to go past the nomination. I'm even flabbergasted that I'm even on anybody's radar that I would even be nominated. So when she came back a few months later and said that my investiture was going to be July 28th, 2013, then she told me that I was being knighted with Jack Canfield, Don Miguel Ruiz, author of the 4 Agreements.
Yeah, wow.
Reverend Michael Beckwith of the Agape Center, Lisa Michaels. I can't remember all 7 of them, but somehow I'm like, what is my name doing on that list? This makes no sense. So long story short, God has a very hysterical, funny sense of humor.
Well, Lillian, you certainly belong, period. That's amazing. And so what do we call it though? So like you're a knight?
So we're knighted. So we're all knights, and men are sirs. The title would be sir for a man, and for a woman, it's dame, D-A-M-E.
So you're Dame Lillian.
Yeah, Dame Lillian. And I've had so many people. It's funny. I had people who called me Lady Lillian before, just out of a nicety. And after I got knighted, the next thing I know, I get a phone call, an email, and a letter from Her Excellence Babrinskoy saying that I'm not to use the title lady. I never used the title. But I had people that were on social media, I guess, calling me Lady Lillian. And so I got kind of like, it's like, oh, no, that's not your title. Your title is Dame. That's a different title. And I'm like, but I'm not, I never told anybody to call me lady. That's them and they've been doing that for years before, just out of I don't even know why. So that's just a funny, I'm like, wow.
And Lillian, my Dame Lillian, your necklace is something that was given to you when you were knighted, right?
Yes. So when you get knighted, you'll see that the men will wear their Maltese cross. They'll wear it in it's a similar, obviously not pearls. They give you this Maltese cross. The women and the men get the same cross. And then women, we can put it on a strand of pearls, and men, they have a special sash that they wear, or they wear it on a pin on the side. So, yeah.
That is awesome. That
Lillian,
is truly awesome.
Thank you for being here. Where are you coming from the world today, Lillian?
I'm in Newport Beach, California.
How come all the knights are in California? Why are all the knights in California? It's like, they're like castles there or something. Like Tony Robbins had a castle.
Means you got to move, Sean. Got to move.
Sean, you're gonna have to move.
So Vivian,
he's not here.
No, he moved to Florida. I've had the privilege of being in his house 4 times, twice in Florida, twice in Idaho. I know he's not in the castle anymore. Becky, I think his ex-wife is. I think she's still there. But remarkable, incredible. Vivian, I look forward to the honor someday of calling you Dame Vivian.
Dame Vivian. It's got a nice ring to it.
Doesn't it?
Nice.
Beautiful.
It does.
But until then, we will call you Lady Vivian. it. So thank you so much. We are running a little bit over our time integrity right now.
We're all done for today. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you at the next show.
So by the way, listen, it's fun because Tom's on something. So it's like, hey, let's get started. We did. We started on time, maybe 5 minutes late, but this is what it looks like when incredible people come together. And without significance, as we come together, we honor and acknowledge one another. Like imagine if meetings between Congress people began with like heartfelt, loving acknowledgement for who people are and what they stood for in the world. Like what might things look like? We'll see, because we're going to cause that. So Vivian, I love you. It's an amazing day. We got to drop in with Michelle and get to these amazing people, Mount Everest climbers, Tom just like, proposing to men when he's straight, like all kinds of craziness happening today.
Dolphins, yes.
Yes, the dolphins, who, by the way, there's weird stories about, if you really dig deeply into the lore of dolphins, lots of crazy stories about dolphins. Not sure if they're true or not, but lots of interesting stories. Tom, I did have the privilege really quickly, last fun fact for today, other than being a blind guy, I taught a blind guy to surf just about a month and a half ago. I was out surfing 2 days later, and I had a dolphin jump out of the water 10 feet from me. And I surfed about 100 days this year. That scared the living hell out of me. Like not full out, right? But came up halfway and splashed down. And it was definitely woke me up at 6:30 in the morning, because 2 weeks before that, I'd been bumped by a shark. True story. And that's out of me too. Yes. Which is 1 mile from where Peter Benchley was inspired to write Jaws in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, based on the 1916 shark attacks. True story. Check it out on Discovery Channel. Shark Week episode 1916 Jaws attack was based in New Jersey. Was rooted off of that. I got bumped hard by a shark right on the shin. Yes, it was present. And then a dolphin 2 weeks later made me reconsider going out early in the morning. A lot of things happening there, Vivian. But you were in those ocean waters. Not enough for today. Love you, Vivian. Have a beautiful day. This doesn't happen without you. Peace.
Love you all. Have a blast.
All right.
Vivian.
Hey, so let's drop in. Tom, we'll go with this. Either 1 or 2 that I'm putting under the table. 2 or 1 under the table. What do you think it is?
2.
It is a 1. It was the first 1 in 10 days, because I got ripped apart yesterday in the chat saying that like you're just putting a 1 down every single 2 down every single time. So I changed it up to Tom. So here's where you are. Sarah, you are a heart-centered, beautiful, wonderful leader. Do you want to go first, or do you want to throw Tom under the bus and have him go first?
You're muted. Clearly, I'll decide for Sarah. She's muted.
I'm throwing Tom under the bus. Unacceptable. To the wrong person.
I haven't been thrown under a bus in a while.
All right. So Tom's, the amazing Michelle, the Uber for lawyers, is going to be anybody that you want her to be. Everything happens after yes. Integrous, heart-centered yeses, not pitching, not hooking, not closing. Integrous, heart-centered yeses for like next steps. So this doesn't have to be an ultimate sale or anything like that. It's just a yes. It could be yes for a longer meeting. It's going to be 6 minutes overall. You're going to probably cut off about halfway in between. So we'll do 2 rounds of it. And so who would you like Michelle to be?
Michelle can be herself.
Beautiful. All right. I love it, Tom.
All right.
So Michelle, are you ready to be yourself?
I am ready.
I'm tired, Michelle. I'm going to go take a nap. You're up. 3 minutes.
Sweet dreams.
Go. Thank you.
Hey, Michelle. Thanks for making some time to chat. How you doing?
I'm great, Tom. How are you this lovely Wednesday?
I am so excited to have a chat with you, especially when I learned about how you survived working with 7,500 lawyers. Obviously, that's pretty epic on its own. I have a love-hate relationship with attorneys. Clearly, you have a love, hate relationship, I'm guessing.
I would say you're completely accurate. And considering the fact that I'm still working with them, I'm not sure, like when you say you're happy I'm, still alive through that. Yeah, who knows what's to come, right?
Yeah, I actually, I've got an introduction for you. I made a note earlier. One of our new clients that we're working with, they create nonprofits for lawyers to then get Google AdWords and run a bunch of ads to build their nonprofit side of their business and their for-profit side. And they literally only work with lawyers, and I don't work with lawyers. So I went, okay, I've got to introduce that to Michelle. I think you'll love meeting them. They're pretty fun guys. So right now,
Sid?
Pardon me?
Are you referring to Sid?
Yes, you know Sid?
I know Sid.
Oh, fantastic. Well, wait till you hear what Sid, Wait to hear what Sid, Jake, myself, and David, my partner in Australia, are putting together, and you're going to be like, "What?" Yeah, I think only about 7,400 of your attorney friends will like it, because there's always 100. There's always a batch out there. So now, with the work that you're doing, are you looking to impact more attorneys? Are you looking to do different revenue streams? What's your goal now? Like, what's the current phase? Because I heard you said you transitioned.
Yes, we are looking to impact more attorneys with the way that COVID has gone. A lot of law firms have laid off many of their associates,
right?
And in order to grow, they still need work done, but they need to keep their overhead down. So we offer freelance services, and this allows them to not have to hire an associate. They can charge their normal fees, and they can pay outsourcing fees to our lawyers. So they're making even more money and running leaner law firms.
And are they looking for other ways to do that, to scale that, to provide more income for themselves and more scale in what they do? Do you know?
I would imagine so.
One of the things I think we should talk about, if we get time, is how they could structure, and you could help them do this, how they could structure what they're doing to create more leverage in their business model. The time for money model is fun, but at some point it runs up against a wall, right? There's only so much they can do, and they can increase their billing hours and make it work from there. But one of the things that I think would really help them would be figuring out a way to leverage that, package it up. And that's one of the things we do in our company. I'd love to spend a few more minutes talking about that if you've got time later today.
Hey, Michelle.
I'm intrigued.
You get some time in 3 minutes. Love it, Tom. Yes, as a business owner, not operator of a 125-person law firm, you're a man after my own heart. There's co-creation energy in the air because I love your brilliance. I am not confused. So, Tom, how did that round feel for you?
It's good. Short window of time. Obviously, that's part of the constraint of this situation. And because it was a real scenario, it was easier to jump in. I would have liked more getting to know Michelle time in this situation, but I also know I only have another 3 minutes afterwards to get to yes. So got to play the game by the rules.
Awesome job, Tom. Did a great job. Michelle, we're going to ask for your thoughts and comments on both in a moment. Let's drop in with Sarah, though. Everest summiter, rock star of rock stars. Are you ready? That's you, Sarah.
You're on mute again.
Okay, I'm ready. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, Sarah. How are you?
Fantastic. I would like you to be you, a CEO of lawyers. Congratulations, by the way. I absolutely love it when women take leadership roles. How do you find it?
How did I find my role?
How do you find your leadership role as a female in your environment?
Well, within my company so far, I only hire other females because my dream is to build them up to women who can buy their own houses, who can run their own households and independently. The lawyers that work for us, the 7,500-ish, that's both women and men. But it's leadership in this role, if I'm understanding the question correctly, for me is really truly understanding the personalities that I'm working with, and knowing how to be at least 5 steps ahead of the problem if it comes about, so that it can be resolved in the most loving way, and that just really just puts it to peace and rest.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't realize you had lots of women. I would like to actually dig deeper into that. With COVID happening and what's happening around the world, a lot of companies are laying off people. And I don't know if that's affected the morale in your environment and how you can deal with it to ensure that there's still productivity similar to what you had before COVID affected the world. Is that something that you're looking at? Is that something that has affected your productivity in your environment?
COVID did affect our company. Here in the United States, they closed down all of the courthouses. So in April and May, we were down like 90%. I did not lay off any of my employees. And that's just because I couldn't get myself to do it. So I had my employees, my W-2 employees on full time as they would have been before. And some of them, there was nothing to do. So they weren't working, but they were still being paid, and they're back and they're working again.
Okay, fantastic. So their morale has not been affected in any way. Do you think that there's a need for them to be coached in any way to ensure that they continue being motivated, or is that not something that has affected your environment?
I believe that there is no end to needing more motivation or coaching. So do I think that it could benefit them? Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
I would like, as you know, I mean, every summit here.
I am so sorry. I have to run. I have to get a call. Would it be okay if we spoke to each other at a later time?
Absolutely. Would you like me to set up an appointment for later?
Please. I would love that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Excellent work. Excellent work, Sarah. How'd that feel for you?
I didn't know what I was doing there, but yeah, thank you.
You're going from hello to yes. You've been pretty good at going from hello to yes, because you like TEDx and 50,000 other things. So you're pretty amazing at that. So thank you very much. Michelle, quick, like one word for each in that first round, like how the connection felt. Let's start with Sarah and then Tom. Like one word for the connection.
Well, with Sarah, I thought it was.
One word, Michelle.
It was what?
One word. What was the one?
Oh, yeah, one word. Gosh, where am I? Meaningful. Okay, meaningful.
And then with Tom?
Intriguing.
Nice, excellent, meaningful, intriguing. We'll get more feedback from the amazing Michelle after the second round. Just want to like sit on a word. Resonance as we go into the judges. Let us start with Sir Christopher. Not Sir yet, but Sir in the making. We're going to go time integrity because we are running a little bit over. It's 30 seconds. Michelle, when I hold it up, if you could support me with, and your score, like when I hold the thing up for 30 seconds. And so it's 30 seconds feedback, Christopher, what went well, maybe 15 seconds on that. What could be optimized, 15 seconds. We'll go first Tom for 30, and then we'll go with Sarah for 30. So for Christopher, what do you have for feedback and a score? The gangster?
Okay, score. What's the score for range?
A score of 1 to 10.
1 to 10?
You can start with 10, Chris, while you're just figuring it out. You can start with 10.
Okay, so we're going to go with Sarah first? Or?
We'll go Tom first, if you don't mind.
Tom, okay. Yeah, so Tom, I will give him a score of, I'll give you a 10, Tom. I thought you were engaging.
I love you, brother.
When people speak, and I feel like they're pulling me in, and that's what I base it on, something like that. I thought that I would like to hear more of your story whenever you speak, and you have an excellent microphone, so that's something that matters on these type of events when you're talking. And
I would ask you for your score, but you said it at the beginning.
Yeah, I said it was a 10, definitely.
Nice. And so. What did you have, Christopher, for Sarah?
For Sarah, I was impressed with the openness, the honesty of the discussion. I felt warmth. If I had to use one word, I felt warmth from that. And her score, I'm feeling generous. I'm giving 10s to her as well, because 10s across the board, because you have. I felt a genuine desire to learn, to get more information. And I was feeling it. I felt that. So yeah, this 10's a great group here today.
Awesome job.
Great group here today.
Amazing. Yeah. So we have the sales gangster, Bella Verita, like dropping in from outer space. Bella, Sarah, right? So Bella, first of all, places more women salespeople than like anybody else in the country, was the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada, and is a straight up lunatic in every single essence of the word.
You're a lunatic.
And Sarah summited Everest. Tom almost accidentally married a gay man from a weird dolphin encounter in the ocean.
Oh my God.
Christopher is in a more dangerous situation than Shiru, who lives with like big cats in Africa or something, because he's in Washington, D.C. There's about to be 1 million person Make America Great Again march. And then finally, we have a Dane not like an Abbott and Costello dame, but a dame who is knighted, like knighted a knight, because we call a woman who's knighted instead of sir, it's a dame, Lillian.
Holy moly. All I know is Sean comes into the other room and is like, we're having the best Real Raw we've ever had. It's the most fun it's ever been. And I was like, wait a minute, what's happening? Like Michelle has like risen the fun factor apparently.
Yeah, see Michelle, when I don't know, Michelle said when Bella's not here, see what happens. But I didn't say that. I'm just repeating what Michelle said. It's really weird.
He can come in and see
I'm a magnet. What can I say?
I'm telling you what, like this is incredible.
Okay. So amazing job. So thank you, Christopher. So let's drop in with now Shiro. Her name can be said in 9 different dialects or around her area. So this is like when the people from like Austin and Houston and Dallas all say like Bella differently. That's what happens to Africa, right? So yeah. So Shiro,
Incredible group.
yeah. Could you give 30 seconds of feedback to Tom and a score on a scale 1 to 10?
Sure. So I thought that Tom came out on top because he asked he assessed the situation very well when he talked about the business model and about the design. So I gave him a score of actually 9.5. I don't give anybody 10. Nobody's perfect. Hello. So and
that's what my first wife said too, actually.
Yes.
I can see what's happening here.
Sarah, I gave her a 9 because I thought she was very engaging in terms of where she talked about the leadership role. I don't think that her question was very well answered, so I gave her a 9. And she also talked about the real situation about the COVID and productivity. So I did give her a 9. I didn't think that 2 of her questions were answered very well. So for Michelle,
no, Michelle, that's all good, Shira. Michelle is the role player, so she doesn't.
Oh, right.
But
yeah.
I was ready to get judged.
But you got a 10, Michelle. You got a 10 out of us.
Michelle, what's your score?
Ben and I give you a 10.
Yeah, so that was my judgment.
Awesome.
That means I'm on the list too. How did I do?
Yeah, what do you do? Bella score? No. So Dame Lillian, what do you have for these fine people? I can't do any British accent or act, and I have a univoice accent that Michael Spiken always tells me, so that was my best rendition of nothing. So Dame Lillian,
Nothing.
what do you got?
So, okay, so starting off with Tom. Tom, I thought you were, very strategic in your approach and trying to unveil exactly what it was that Michelle was doing, the service she was providing, and what she was trying to accomplish. And I know that there was only 3 minutes, so, challenges in 3 minutes to find out what's the pain point, and then you want to convert that into not just a yes, but get some sort of engagement and agreement to follow up with them later and continue on, so then you can do a deeper dive. So I think you did well.
And your score?
And so I gave, for Tom, I gave him an 8 because I thought that he was good at, with the limited time, getting to that point where she was willing at the end, even though it was just 3 minutes before he even got a chance to, do the call to action. She said, yeah, let's, talk again and yada, yada. So he obviously successfully reached his goal. So I thought that was fantastic with Tom. With Sarah, which I might, is it Sarah or Sarah?
Sarah.
Okay. Sarah means princess. And I find it's funny that we have princess, we have dame, and then Shiro. They're all like, archetypes. So
Love it.
Sarah, I wanted to say, I thought at first I was wondering, why are you going to leadership when you only have 3 minutes? But then I was pleasantly surprised that you uncovered that she had all female employees. And the fact that you had uncovered this jewel that she didn't let go any of her W-2 employees, I thought, wow, she bought a tremendous amount of good faith with those people, because they were in full recognition that they could have very well lost their jobs, because everybody has that on their radar right now. So there's a lot that can be
And your score?
And so
Dame Lillian?
Yeah, my score, I gave her a 7.5 only because out the gate, she was asking about whether, the loss of employees or productivity, if that was an issue. And she had already heard that uncovered with Tom's interrogations, if you will. So I thought, okay, if she would have paid a little closer attention. And I know that, you only have 3 minutes, and, when you're on the spot, sometimes it's harder to, distill what we're trying to do. So that's the only reason why I took half a point off and gave her a 7.5 other than 8. But it was tempting to bring her back up to an 8 when I realized that she uncovered that hidden jewel of that whole staff of women, because that's a gold mine.
It is. So thank you, Dean Lillian. We're going to get to round 2. Beautiful feedback, our incredible judges. Thank you. In round 2, Sarah, since you threw Tom under the bus, now it's your turn to pick up the ball again with Michelle. And this is the second 3 minutes of going to your yes. Are you ready, Sarah?
I'm ready. Thank you.
Let the interrogations begin.
Yes, please continue.
Michelle, thank you for seeing me again. I've been thinking about our first meeting and excited about the fact that you are really promoting women, which I'm very passionate about myself. I would like to actually talk to you about an opportunity which I can present to you as somebody that mentors and coaches women to reach their peak in order to support your employees in that respect. Is it something that you currently are doing, or something that you would be interested in actually giving to your employees, apart from all the other perks that you afford them?
I love what you're doing. I love what you're about. We seem to be on the same track with empowering and uplifting women. So far, I have been doing this on my own. I try to mentor them as much as I possibly can. But I don't have all the answers, and bringing someone else in could be the key to leveling things up. There's probably some distinctions you have that I haven't thought of yet. Can you tell me more about what you do?
Yes, so I actually focus on peak performance. I look at people's strengths, and I actually make sure that they recognize their strengths. They're able to focus on their strengths and manage their weaknesses. I try and map it out throughout the team to ensure that it's not only individuals that perform optimally, but as a team, they're able to perform optimally and get the results that are required for the business. So it's a little bit different from the traditional looking at what are people's weaknesses and how can we work on them, but rather to focus on their strengths to ensure that they achieve success. Is this something that you have looked at before?
It's great that you say that. One of the things that I have always spoken to them about is that the company and each player inside the company is reliant on the next person. So if you're one of my employees and Tom is another, Tom relies on you, you rely on Tom to do your jobs right. Yeah. Because without that team, we're nothing. Then it just, one can make everything crumble. So that's the teamwork is teamwork makes the dream work. That's a huge motto of mine. And it sounds like that is where you're at. And I like that. I would love to learn more. I've got to jump off of a call again for another call. But what you have to offer sounds very interesting.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm very grateful for the time. I would love to start as soon as your employees are available. I'm available next week if that's possible, at any time that's flexible for you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I've got to run now, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you.
Beautiful job, Sarah. We'll bounce back to Michelle in a second. Tom, you ready for round 2?
Ready to go.
All right, take us in, please, sir.
Hey, Michelle, I am so excited to continue chatting with you, especially since you know Sid already. I had an idea. Let me ask you this, though. If you could help your lawyers make a lot more money and put in less hours, like the sort of ideal business model for someone like that, do you get extra compensation from that normally in your current model? Like if you increase their income dramatically, do you get more compensation, or is it the same compensation in your model?
It's the same. They pay us per job. So it's just it's freelance work, and there's a priced out fee.
So it's a flat fee structure. So then what I would suggest, if you're up for it, is that we get Sid, Jake, you and I on a call, and we brainstorm a way to create a program for them that would dramatically increase their revenues, around, we call this creating high ticket programs that guarantee results for their clients. That's our secret skills. That's our special sauce, if you will. And I actually think, given the fact you already know Sid and how he operates and what we do and what you do, that the three of us could co-create something that we could present to them that could add not only significant extra revenue for them and clients and impact, but a whole bunch of additional revenue for your company in the process. I'm a big believer of 1 + 1 is 11 if we structure it right. And given your knowledge on that tribe, and given how much money I've spent on attorneys over the years and my knowledge of how their business model works, I mean, they are some of the hardest working people out there, and yet they don't get a lot of respect outside their own profession. They get a lot of, abuse from other business people, which I don't think they deserve. Well, okay, some of them do, but most don't. And I think we could really come up with something really cool and sort of co-create that. It would take about, 45 minutes, an hour. Would that be something you'd be up for?
I would love to hear more. By the way, you said something about all the money you've paid to lawyers. I'm probably one of the few that actually makes money off of lawyers, which I find a fun little thing. But I would like to hear more about what you all have up your sleeves.
Fabulous. Then why don't you send me your calendar link, and I'll grab a time. I'll check with Sid and Jake, see what works for them, make it easy for you, and we'll invest an hour and see what we can do.
That sounds wonderful. I've actually already got a meeting set up with them next week, so maybe you can join us then, huh?
Virtual law firm, folks. Makes sense given what you're doing.
Thunk it. This is great.
I love it. What a small, cool world. Okay, we're done, Sean. We saved 20 seconds on your time agenda.
No, Tom, listen, awesome job, dude. I see a lot, thousands of people. I have a $250,000 bet on the internet for charity. I cannot be out-influenced on a neutral set of facts, and you would be a worthy opponent in that dynamic. You're outstanding, truly. And Sarah, you were as well. Great job. Yes, Michelle, give us a quick feedback, like one word, one sentence. We're over our time integrity a bit, and I still want to do a quick exercise, get to the judges, so it'll be about 7-8 more minutes. But what do you have, Michelle, for like 10 seconds each on a word and feedback overall?
Okay, so Sarah, 10 seconds. I am intrigued by what she has to offer: uplifting women, empowering women, inspiring teamwork. I love it. I'm connected. Tom, we're speaking the same language right now in terms of growth and acceleration and law firms. So that's an easy one for me. This happens to be something I'm already working on. It just works out that it's been a real life scenario for us here.
Awesome. Great job. Excellent work. Tom, excellent work. Sarah, would you mind dropping in with me for just a minute in a role play with you and I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No problem.
So would I have your permission to be you?
To be me? Yeah, sure.
And would you mind being Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. I don't
So
mind.
I'll say Michelle, you're Michelle. Okay, like her Uber for lawyers, that business. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, Michelle, I'm super appreciative that you took the time for this call. And I know you only have about 3 minutes today. I'm really grateful that we got introduced through the Unblinded ecosystem. But can I ask you a question that I just don't know the answer to yet? You've constructed this entire beautiful enterprise. It's amazing. Like, what keeps you going? Like, why are you doing all of this now?
I do it because I'm passionate about uplifting women and leaving an impact and a legacy. That's why I do it.
Wow. And so let's say you're blessed and privileged, as my grandmother was, to know on her last day on earth that it was her last day. And it's 100 years from now. And people are going to talk about you, Michelle. What is it that you want to have like caused in the world that people be present to? Like, not about you, but what they'd say about what you caused in the world.
That she actually impacted people's lives positively, and that she was able to uplift the women and her community in the process.
Extraordinary. And so I know you're in a state of COVID. I know it's impacted your business in meaningful levels. Did I hear you correctly about that?
Absolutely. Although I did not change the remuneration structure for my employees, it definitely did affect our bottom line.
Yeah, and I want to acknowledge your love and your generosity, because a lot of people have had to do different things. A lot of people have chosen to do different things. So, from my heart to yours, you're an incredible woman of inspiration, and you're standing for things in the world. And it's an honor to chat with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I know we only have about a minute left, and in that time, my request is going to be for you to evaluate in these next 60 seconds whether or not it would be worth it for us to have a half an hour meeting. And is it okay in that 45 seconds left, I share a little bit about me?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Okay. So as I think you know, I have done a lot of very unique things in the world. I've been recognized for my thinking, my heart as an athlete, and my accomplishments. I've summited Mount Everest. I had a widely reviewed and accepted TED Talk. And Michelle, what I stand for in the world is that we function at a fraction of our human capacity. And a lot of folks talk about that, but with my story and the things I've actually lived, like my beingness when I'm in a room with people, stands for that possibility. You know, it's one thing to talk about the idea from a place of really not having lived it, and I've lived it. So my outcome will be to share those dynamics and all the technologies I've studied, which I've studied as hard as I prepared and studied for everything I've done, including summiting Everest. And I'd love to bring that to your team. And I'd love to have a half an hour conversation about it. How would you feel about that half an hour conversation? If it's not worth your time, tell everybody in the world that I'm full of it. But you'll find that not only am I not, but there's something powerful and unique here. How would you feel about that, Michelle?
Absolutely. I'm going to give you actually an hour and not half an hour. I'd love to have you in office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Sarah, is that who you are in the world? Did I portray you accurately in your beingness?
Yeah, you did. And without sounding salesy, which I absolutely hate. So I loved it. Thank you. The position was brilliant.
Yeah, Tom is an influencing genius that you are. What's your perspective, sir?
I really appreciated the role play. In particular, one of my beliefs is that it's difficult to get deep quickly in rapport unless you have really good rapport, and you just modeled that's BS. That you can totally get deep in a conversation very quickly with certainly a level of rapport. You're role playing already, but not a like 45-minute conversation. And I thought that was really powerful. You know, the destiny discussion question was right on point relative to the mission that she wanted to accomplish. So I thought that was a great bridge and a good example for Sarah to apply with Michelle. And I thought you also sold Sarah's value to the world, you know, really, really well. And again, in a short way without sounding salesy. And I thought that was super powerful.
No, thank you, brother. And 23 years of studying and teaching these dynamics, because influence really is a superpower, integrous, authentic, because if people don't get, you know, people can hear summiting Everest and have no idea how to translate that.
Yeah.
You know, we need to translate things for people because it's lost on us. We're busy, we're bombarded. And when we have through a whole bunch of different principles and levers, 4 steps, 10 indispensable elements, 4 energies is our integrous human influence model. That's how it works. And it allowed me to be, you know, Tom, to your point, which I'd love for us all to talk. You know, I own a 125 person law firm. I'm the sole equity holder. I built it starting from not two law firms, starting from nothing twice. First when I sold, right? And then I just started again from scratch. I sold all the contacts. I had 100 people working for me in 2 years on the same dynamic and got to the thing I'm most proud of in the world is I walked my kids to school every single day in their childhood. I coached every team. I missed 9 games they played in because time is what so many want. Like we could have all the money in the world, but what about our time and the magic? So that's what we stand for. So we are over. Thank you everybody for your patience. If we could go for a quick, like maybe 1 sentence and a score from each of you incredible judges, we'll go and we'll actually start with Shiro this time. What quick 15 seconds and a score do you have, Shiro, for starting with Sarah?
Sorry. So for Sarah, this time I felt she did better than the first time because I gave her 9.3, and because she talked of one very important point about peak performance teamwork. And that is what Michelle was stressing about, making sure that she didn't lay off her employees. She thought she still needed them.
So you said your score was
9.3.
Nice. And for Tom?
Yeah. For Tom, I felt that he was a little bit bulldozing you in terms of that he has something that he'd want to sell, and you felt like, oh, okay, I need to get him off the phone or something. But he's a salesperson you every company would want to have. So for him, I gave him a 9 this time. Yeah. So I think he did very well, because I thought that even as he's trying to really sell, I thought that let him keep the dolphin and not be a shark.
Shira was amazing.
All
Shira,
right.
oh, so fun. How was your experience today, Shira? Thank you so much for being here on the Real Raw.
Oh, wow. The experience was just awesome. I think I enjoyed coming here to judge. I didn't really understand the principle of the platform, but I would definitely want to come back and role play myself. So thank you so much for having me today. And I'm glad to meet everybody on the platform.
Thank you. Christopher, sir, thank you so much for being here today. How was your experience?
I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought this is something that I want to participate in the future. So like I said, I'm going to do more. I got to jump out of airplanes and climb mountains and things. But other than that, no, I was exposed to people, to be quite honest, I don't think I'd ever think that I would meet. And it was a very powerful, impactful call, an experience that I would like to do again. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. And I see, and I'll be quite honest, with your delivery when you were doing the role play, it felt so real. It felt like you were that person, and it felt like we were in the same room. There's something about how you present yourself. You're very engaging in that, and it seems very true. And I can appreciate that too. It's very genuine, and giving people examples of how to represent that is it's very impressive.
And
I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Thank you. I'll anchor on this. I ran for president of my class in 8th grade. I got 2 votes in a 100-person class. My vote and my girlfriend's vote. I failed freshman high school geometry for the year. Not like a test, not a marking period for the year. I was a sophomore at Columbia University. I ate lunch by myself the entire second semester, just because of interpersonally, I didn't like some people, and I just wanted to avoid people, state of introversion. So sometimes people can see things like this. And yes, I speak on Tony Robbins' stage. Yes, I've broken all the sales records for Platinum Partnership. I've had that honor and privilege. I've had the honor and privilege of being acknowledged in an incredible room full of people just this past Saturday night by Tony, just a few, 100 yards from where we're sitting. And in those dynamics, sometimes people could say, well, you're just born with those skill sets. And that's not at all true. Not even close. I was not the LeBron James who was speaking, and LeBron James wasn't born as the greatest basketball player, where he's given natural gifts and he worked his tail off from there. I didn't even have that many natural gifts, to get to this space. So thank you for that acknowledgement, Christopher. Just a couple quick scores, sir, for what you had for Sarah and for Tom.
For Sarah, I thought that she was an excellent listener. Her details that she captured were just on point. It was as if she were the person. I would say at the beginning she was kind of, well, I'll give her a little lower score, like a 9.5, still close to 10. It was believable, but she kind of had to figure her way around it. It didn't seem as smooth, but that's okay because you're pretending to be someone else.
How about for Tom, Christopher? I'm sorry, jump in.
For Tom, I did. Again, I love Tom's voice. I love his energy, so I can't go any lower than 9.5 on that either. But I felt that Tom, it did feel a little salesy at the beginning, but you quickly make the adjustments. I think that Tom is quick on his feet, and I could feel that. And I would say if I were on a sales team with Tom, I would feel comfortable that Tom's going to take the lead on something. If I had to step out of the room, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so straight world class. Absolutely.
Oh, world class, without a doubt. I think you both did a fantastic job. So I'll just say 9.5 on that, just for the initial aspect. But you quickly pulled me in. I was like, okay, I want to hear more and see where this guy's going with this. Yeah.
All right, and Dame Lillian, quick 15 seconds each, if you could. And thank you so much for being here today.
You're muted.
I don't think I'm muted. Can you hear me?
Yes, we have you now.
Yes, you can hear you.
Yeah, I really like the way how out the gate Tom, he uses time wisely, and he clarified up front whether making money and increasing revenues, if that would not only increase dollars in revenue for the attorneys, but also for Michelle. And I think, having that distinction and not making any assumptions.
And your score?
That was a great thing. So I gave him a 9. And of course, because of that clarification, you could see how Michelle thought a little bit more about the things that he could help with high ticket revenue items for lawyers and for her. So both, it's like a win-win, like you talked about.
Absolutely. And for Sarah?
And for Sarah, I like the fact that Sarah immediately went straight to, okay, what's the common denominator that we have both? And it's empowering women. So automatically, instead of being on the other side of the table from Michelle, now she placed herself right next to Michelle, which I think is what, it's a partnership. So I like the way that she
And for a score?
uncovered that. So I gave her a 9 also, because I think she did a great job at cementing that. And I could see Michelle also wanting to move forward, and she's more intrigued and wanting more to find out more how she can be of assistance to her in her business.
Amazing. Dame Lillian, thank you so much for honoring us with your heart, your amazingness, your royalty, quite frankly. So thank you for that. And if somebody was like, I don't know, should I go on that Real Raw thing? What would you share from your heart?
I would say go for it. For sure. It's definitely, this has been a very fun, it was a laugh fest, and it was really cool to see everybody engaging. And, our Mount Everest here was our most non-renewable resource, which is our time, just 3 minutes to make an impact. And so y'all scaled the mountains very nicely on us.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Tom, thank you for being here so much. How was your experience today, sir?
You're welcome. I actually was a judge several months ago and had a last minute invite, a last minute prep. I just want to compliment you and your team. This time around, not only was the prep like exponentially better, but it made it much more enjoyable for me, even though the experience was way outside my comfort zone. And so the prep side, those systems don't happen by accident. So kudos to you and your team for executing on that. Love the format, love the energy. I love the announcer edition. All of those dynamics just makes it a much more enjoyable experience. And in fact, I got to share this with our tribe. We got about 70,000 entrepreneurs. They need to be tuning into this. So whoever's in charge of that on your team, have them reach out to me, Sean, and we'll spread the word for him.
Tom, thank you. And we've innovated.
Magic happening.
We've innovated every single day.
It shows.
Every single day, with no exaggeration. Saturdays and Sundays included, since this began. So
just the days ending in Y. Good job.
Yeah, just the days ending in Y. And for real, Tony Robbins gave an enormous acknowledgement out of nowhere. And I'm very thankful for the relationship I have with him and his organization, but it was wild. So there's crazy things happening right now. And this is not a platform just about me. Like, there's so much we're doing here. Like, to say that Unblinded is a personal development company would be saying Amazon is a bookstore. So there's so much we're doing, and look forward to co-creating with all of you. So thank you for that. And Sarah, how about yourself? How was today for you?
Fantastic. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I watched one YouTube video of what you do. So I was a bit out of my comfort zone, which is where I like to play. I've learned a lot. I absolutely love the way you pitch to me, which, as I said before, not salesy at all. And I would love to learn that. So, and I met a lot of amazing people here, positive energy. And I'm hoping that I can meet you again sometime soon.
Love it. Listen, everybody, and Michelle, final from you for today.
My final, magic happens. Every time I'm on one of these, and when I'm not on it, magic still happens. This is just the beginning.
And you are amazing, Michelle. And every Monday night, 7 p.m., what is Unblinded and why the Real Raw? And by the way, we are all blind and just learning to see. Have a beautiful day. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. It was good seeing you.
Thank you.